Amazon EC2 is the backbone of AWS computing, but it's also one of the easiest ways to lose track of your cloud costs. If you've ever looked at your AWS bill and wondered what went wrong, chances are EC2 is a big part of it. Today, we're breaking down EC2, the instance types, pricing models, and the smartest ways to optimize your setup. By the end of this video, you'll know how to pick the right EC2 instance, how AWS pricing actually works, and what strategies can save you money. Let's get into it. How EC2 was born. Before EC2, deploying infrastructure was a nightmare. Back in the early 2000s, if you wanted to spin up a new server, you had to buy physical hardware, rack it, wire it, and hope nothing caught fire. AWS saw an opportunity to change that. In 2006, Amazon launched EC2 as one of the first services in its cloud computing lineup. Instead of buying and managing your own servers, you could rent them on demand. Need a server for an hour? Done. Need 100 servers for a week? No problem. It was a game changer for startups who no longer needed massive capital just to get off the ground. Funny enough, Amazon itself needed this service first. Their internal infrastructure was getting out of control, and they realized they could build a scalable solution not just for themselves, but for the entire internet. Fast forward to today, and EC2 runs a ridiculous amount of the world's applications. Understanding EC2 instance types. AWS EC2 instances come in different types, each optimized for specific workloads. If you're running a web app, dev environment, or small database, general purpose instances like the T and M series will get the job done without overcomplicating things. Compute optimized instances like the C series are built for processing heavy tasks like video encoding and high performance computing. These are for workloads that need raw CPU power. If your application eats RAM, memory-optimized instances like the R and X series are the way to go. Think in-memory databases and big data processing. For workloads that require high disk throughput, storage-optimized instances like the I and D series are your best bet. These are great for databases and analytics. Finally, there's the accelerated computing category, which includes GPU-powered instances like the P and G series. These are designed for AI training, machine learning, and graphics-heavy applications. If you don't know where to start, general-purpose instances are usually a safe bet. But understanding your workload can help you avoid overspending on power you don't actually need. How EC2 pricing works. Now that you know the instance types, let's talk about pricing, because managing costs effectively is key to getting the most out of AWS. On-demand instances are the most flexible, but also the most expensive. You pay for what you use with no long-term commitment, making them great for short-term or unpredictable workloads. Reserved instances give you massive discounts, up to 75% if you commit to an instance for 1 to 3 years. If your workload is running 24/7, this is one of the best ways to save money. Savings plans work like reserved instances, but are more flexible. Instead of locking into a specific instance type, you commit to a certain spend per hour across multiple instances. Then there's spot instances, which are AWS's spare capacity sold at a discount, sometimes up to 90% off. The catch? AWS can reclaim these instances at any time if demand spikes. They're great for batch processing, CI/CD jobs, or anything that doesn't need to run continuously. If your workload is predictable, reserved instances or savings plans will save you the most money. If you have jobs that can handle interruptions, spot instances are an easy way to cut costs dramatically, optimizing EC2 costs. Even if you pick the right instance type and pricing model, you still need a strategy to keep costs under control. AWS is built to scale, but that also means it's built to let you overspend. First, make sure you're not over-provisioning. If your instance is idling most of the time, you're paying for capacity you don't need. Next, shut down unused instances. AWS isn't going to remind you to turn off that test environment you spun up 6 months ago, so automate it. Schedule non-critical instances to shut down when they're not in use. Use auto-scaling to match capacity with demand instead of running fixed numbers of instances 24/7. This can save a lot of money by adjusting usage dynamically. Monitor your costs with AWS Cost Explorer. This tool tracks spending trends and helps detect anomalies before they turn into massive billing surprises. Finally, mix different pricing models. A smart strategy is to combine spot, on-demand, and reserved instances to get the best balance between cost and flexibility. Final thoughts. EC2 is a powerful AWS service, but without the right strategy, it's easy to overspend. By understanding instance types, pricing models, and cost optimization strategies, you can get the performance you need while keeping your AWS bill under control. This is the first video in our AWS Explained series. If you liked it, let us know in the comments and tell us which AWS service you'd like us to cover next. And if you're serious about tracking and optimizing your cloud costs, check out CloudZero. It provides real-time visibility into your AWS spending so you never get caught off guard by unexpected costs.